Hello, and welcome to Popcorn and Perspective. This is the place where we not only enjoy delicious popcorn, but also dive deep into the world of films. We're your host, Chantal.
And I'm Chris.
We're here to share our insights on new releases and timeless classics. Get ready to experience movies like never before as we offer you our confident perspective. Welcome to today's episode. We're excited to
Yeah.
get into our Unpopular Opinions movie edition, where we may have some controversial takes on some today's beloved films and make it make sense, where the movie leaves you scratching your head and questioning what you just saw. But let's just have a little fun first with a quick game of love and hate. So all we do is name a movie you hate and a movie you love and guess which is which. So brother, I'll let you go first with your two choices.
My two choices are the Marvel's MCU universe, the Eternals, and A24's The Witch.
Okay, so for first things first, can you give us a rundown on those movies and tell us what they are?
The Eternals is a typical Marvel movie about a group of Eternals, I got Eternals that are here on the planet, and the Celestials have created them to take over, I should say, or dominate. I know a lot of people are up on the Eternals movies. It's been a little bit since I've seen it, but it's a very, very good cast of actors, and it's a new pitch on what the MCU has given us, and that's Eternals. Anything on that? And A24's The Witch is a deep, deep period piece. It's like solely in that time, in that realm of a father and a mother, and their four children, I should say. One of the children gets snatched away, and the
Not don't. I was gonna say
oh,
don't
okay,
say with
okay.
it. Just we're just saying like, just give us like whatever, like a quick
Oh
preview of
yeah,
the movie,
yeah,
and then
I
that's
wasn't,
it.
I wasn't,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then I just guess which one you liked and which one you
Okay,
didn't like.
okay. No spoilers, no spoilers. All right, and so that's it. And a period piece deeply rooted in witchcraft, devil worship, and just eeriness.
All right, so I'm gonna guess which one you loved and which one you hate. So in between those two is Eternals and The Witch. So I would kind of say like our taste is the same, but I hate to say this. I'm sorry, but I haven't seen The Witch yet. Please don't hate me, but I'll get onto it. I promise. I'm like it's on my watch list. It's been on there for a minute. But anyway, if I had to choose which one you loved, I would have to say you love The Witch and you hated Eternals.
Absolutely incorrect. I hated the
Oh my
witch
god, no.
with everything in my being because of the simple fact it is just so overrated. And I watched it for the first time about 3 weeks ago just because I kept seeing a lot of
Oh
hype for it. It
no.
was just a lot of people talking about it, and it's one of the most overrated movies I've ever seen. To me it wasn't scary at all, and the even though I followed the dialogue and the
Mm-hmm.
speaking, it was
Right.
deeply rooted in that time. So you got to really
Right.
like pay attention and focus because obviously they talk different from us then. And I love the Eternals. Like I love the Eternals. I feel like, of course, Marvel could have did better with it, but it was still good for what they
Yeah.
gave us. Like I think that movie gets too much hate, and I think that by Marvel not bringing those characters back, they wasted a great cast. They wasted gifts and abilities that nobody else has. They got that giant celestial being sitting in the middle of the Indian Ocean, so they could have easily
Thank you.
brought the Eternals over. But yeah, that is my spiel right there on love and hate. Love Eternals, hate the witch.
Okay, so since y'all know I haven't even seen The Witch yet, but with the Eternals,
Yeah,
I'm like the same with me. I actually enjoyed the Eternals. I did. I actually enjoyed it. The only thing was I hate that the fact that it's been 4 years and we have no idea where the hell they at. Like you said, there's the celestial being in the middle of the Indian Ocean, which we got a sneak peek of that in the latest Captain America, and we still don't
exactly.
know like what they're gonna do with that. And then on top of that, like you said, they it's a great cast. Like you have an amazing cast. Like it's like you're just wasting all these good characters on what? And it's like they had like a good idea, but also the only thing I didn't like is like, okay, you had all these immortals just sitting there and they let the blip happen. Like
Exactly. Like they didn't fit them into the rest of the Marvel universe very well. They just were like,
it's
you
like
know
they were
what?
just there.
Let's throw another movie in. We're not gonna make it fit in anywhere, even though we're supposed to be doing a cinematic universe. But let's just throw this in just for shits and giggles. Like so, yeah.
It
But
literally was. Did you have anything else, brother?
nope, that is all on those two.
All right. So for me, my two choices we have first is Bottoms. So just like a quick rundown what the Bottoms is basically a movie that follows two high school senior girls who start a fight club as a way to hook up with cheerleaders. And Malignant is my second choice, which is a horror film that is basically a movie about paralyzed by fear from shocking visions. A woman's torment worsens as she discovers her waking dreams are terrifying realities. So just another rundown of who is in these movies. Malignant, you have Annabelle Wallace, who was in the recent The Mummy movie with Tom Cruise. And I'm trying to figure out what else she's been in. I'm like, she's very familiar, but I'm drawing a blank. And you have, for Bottoms, you have a Darby from The Bear, and then you have Rachel Sennett, who's pretty big out there, who's getting pretty big out there. And then, of course, you have Kaya Gerber, who is Cindy Crawford's daughter, who's in there. And then you have like Nicholas Allen. I can never say his name, but he's another one who's getting ready to play He-Man. So,
Yep. Okay.
so out of those two, which one do you think I liked, and which one do you think I hated?
Well, I'm just like you. I have not seen one of your choices, and that is the Bottoms. But you had me at Fight Club, so I went ahead and jotted the name of that down so I can go ahead and watch it. But I think you love the Bottoms and you did not like Malignant.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding. You are so correct, brother. Okay, so let me tell
yeah.
you,
I wasn't a fan of Malignant.
thank you. I thought I was the only one in that. Like,
Oh,
seriously, like with Malignant, I really thought that movie was gonna be something. Everybody was like, oh, it's so good, it's so good. That movie was dumb. It was not scary. The monster was stupid. Like, it was just all of it was just dumb. Like, it was
yeah.
it was literally dumb. Like her the killer was like her parasitic twin that was like on the back of her head. Like it was because of a tumor. Like it was just dumb. And mind you, this is the same guy that gave us Saw, The Conjurer, Insidious, the first
Good
Aquaman.
movies. Other good
Yeah, this
movies.
is James Wan, and I'm like, and you throwing Malignant? I'm like, bro, like they could have just threw that at the back of like a back of a crate, just missing, just let it go missing. Like nobody would miss it. I'm like, I'm not
he
gonna miss it. Like
he should have released it under somebody else's name, not to mess up his movie.
exactly. And then on top of that, the bad part of it was is like when I watched it the first time, I ended up
Yeah.
having I fell asleep. I fell asleep the first time, and then I had to go back and finish it. That lets you know right there. If I fall asleep in a movie and I had to come back the next day to watch it,
Yeah.
I don't want it.
It's,
I
it's
don't want
already
it.
in it's already in the list of bad.
It's just like put that in like a $2 bin and call it a day. Like that movie was just a no go for me. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. But Bottoms though, if you can get your hands on Bottoms,
Yeah. I'm gonna watch
if you
that
can watch
tonight.
it, like literally, it's just like a parody of just. It's just like a parody of just like like your typical like teenage movie, like, like the losers, like I hate to say it, but it's basically what it is, like the awkward, like loner, like doesn't get the
Yeah.
girl, whatever, and then they find ways of how to like become popular to get the girl. Well, this is their way of trying to get the girls is by, starting a fight club. And I won't say anything else after that. I will say this too, because I totally forgot about this, but Marshawn Lynch is in this movie as a teacher.
Is he?
Yes, it is the funniest thing. Mind you, I had mom watch this movie and she actually found it funny. So that lets you know right there because it
Yeah.
takes a lot for mom to like find stuff funny. And I'm real surprised that she actually found this movie to be hilarious. So I hope you get a chance to watch it. And I hope you do enjoy it like I did.
Yes.
Did you have anything else?
Like you said, Malignant was so hyped. Like I thought I was gonna be watching the next horror classic with that one,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a one and done. You know,
Yep.
I wasted the time on it. I won't do it again. I can say I watched it, and that's enough.
One and done. That's the type of movie that's literally once is enough. All right. Before we dive deeper into the movies, you can follow me on X or Twitter at underscore Akira XO and on Letterbox at Edna Mode. Yes, you heard it right, folks. It is Edna Mode. Two words, but actually into one. I mean, you get it.
Brilliant, incredible, throw out, brilliant. Love
Thank
it.
you.
And you can catch me on X and Twitter under the Hazel Eyed Movie Guy, all one word, obviously. And you can catch me on Letterbox under the same name, the Hazel Eye movie guy. I would really appreciate the follows, trying to get my numbers up, people up, and fan base up over there. Thank you.
Yes, follow my brother, people, and me as well. Now that you know how to follow us, let's talk about Unpopular Opinions Movie Edition. Here we'll share our thoughts about movies that some people may disagree with or find surprising. So this time, I will go first, and I will have to say by start. I will have to start by saying which is what I have been saying about this movie, that Love and Basketball is god awful.
Oh
I'm
God, take my ears,
sorry.
take my
I'm
ears, Jesus. She
so
didn't say
sorry.
that.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. I apologize to the congregation who is in love with this movie, who finds it to be a classic. But unfortunately for me, this is not the love story people see it as it is. I'm like, I don't care what they say. This man had played in this woman's face ever since they were kids. Like, how are you gonna try and tell me that this girl that you have known ever since childhood, and then y'all were, well, I won't even say y'all were each other's first. You were her first, and then y'all fall in love, and then it's like, oh, he makes it big, and then he keeps just pushing her off to the side. But then when it takes for him to get hurt and he can't play no more, then he wants to take care of home when she gets to play the game. I'm sorry, I know I'm gonna rub people the wrong way, but that whole story was just dumb as hell. I do not like it. I never liked it. I hated that they just overplayed that Maxwell song, "A Woman's Worth." Like, they just got on my nerves. Like, I understand it was just like everybody's like greatest thing on earth, but they could have just left that. I'm sorry, they could have just left that on the drawing board, the story, but wherever they could have just left it at the wayside. Like, I wouldn't even miss it. Like, it's just one of those movies. Like, I cannot. That was
Oh
like
no.
that was like 2 hours of my life I will never get back. I'm sorry. And people are always mad at me when they hear me say that they don't
I am people.
understand.
I
I'm like,
am
I'm
people.
sorry.
I am one of. Hey Google, is it too late to put a sister up for adoption in her 30s? Because I don't understand where this is coming from.
I hated it. I'm sorry. The
you
movie
you know
just
what I've you know what I've learned though.
what?
When speaking about that movie with people, it's usually a lot of women who think this way as you do. Because I think men like me just see it as a hoops movie. It's just good basketball. He out there doing this thing, they hooping, and it's just like intensity. But like you said, a lot of women do see it as like it's like glorifying a player or a womanizer because that's what he did all throughout the movie. And then, like you said, when he gets hurt, that's when he crawled back to let me go back to her. She loved me, like Jenny and Forrest Gump. But yeah, I'm still gonna check on that adoption papers for you though because
Oh, don't do me like that, man. Like,
it
look, we
still
can have
hurt my soul.
disagreements.
It still hurt my soul to hear that because it's not my top of the list favorite, but it's a good movie. It's a good movie. All right,
I'm sorry. I'm
mine.
sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead,
I'm
go
like,
ahead.
I can't change. Y'all can't change my mind on this movie. I can't do it. It's a no. It's a no for me. It's
Hey,
a
if
no.
y'all see her out in the streets, just throw soft, fluffy things at her. Just like pillows, tomatoes. That's fine. That's all. Just
Not
soft stuff.
tomatoes.
Soft stuff. All right. And mine is a whole set of movies. Disney's live action remakes are pointless. The originals are untouchable and better left alone. The Disney live action remakes often feel pointless because the original animated films are masterpieces in their own right. They're crafted with magic that live action will never have. Even with the modern CGI, they struggle to replicate the greatness of it. Plus, when I'm watching an original Disney movie and I see a cartoon just bust out a song for no reason, I'm like, okay, yeah, you get that feeling. But I see a real life grown man just walking through the street, bust out a song for no reason. I'm like, oh, that's a little creepy, brother. Just like, why are you singing? The Lion King and Aladdin, they were built for animation style, non-live action, but transferring them over strips away the charm of these movies, and the nostalgia plays a huge part. Like, these classics are deeply tied to our childhood memories, and any remake is automatically held to the impossible standards because you can do so much in the animation cartoon world that you can't do in the live action realm, and by trying to
Right.
do that you hurt the film. And
Right.
many times what they have to do is they have to try to forge their own story, forge their own path, and they take away from the originals by making the new ones because, like I said, you can't do as much. So visually, the live actions can't hold up. The songs can't hold up. It's just the character development is just blah. It's just they should not be made. Disney needs to stop.
I definitely have to agree with you because it's like these last few like live action ones that they've been doing, it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
what's the point? Like it's literally like what is the point? Like you said, like the Lion King when it came out like 2019, I was like, this
Yep.
is pointless. Like we don't need this. Like the only thing I was happy about is that we still had James Earl Jones to still do Mufasa. That was
Yeah.
the only thing
True.
that I
True.
liked about that. That was like the only thing that I appreciated about that. And then on top of that, it was just like Aladdin that they could have just left that alone. And
Yeah.
then on top of that, like I literally just recently just watched Mufasa, his story. I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm like, what was the point of this? Like, we really like it's been 30 years, literally 30 years since the first Lion King movie. That was enough. Like that right there
It
was
hasn't been
enough
that
in
long.
itself. Like that, like the music was perfect. Like those songs still live within us till this day. So for them to like try and bring that kind of like world back with Mufasa and give us like new songs, like going like, what is that song? Like, what do you say about my brother? Like, it's just
Yeah.
so it was just so stupid. And it's just like, and what's crazy is like it's not like that same kind of earworm like how Akuna Matata or Can't
Yeah.
Wait to Be King or like The
Yeah.
Circle of Life. Like it's not any of those. And then like not even Disney, you even have DreamWorks like bringing us
True.
How to Train Your
And
Dragon. I'm like,
I'm
it's
so
literally shot for shot. It's literally shot for shot for the same movie that came
yeah.
out like over 10 years ago, and I hate it so much that people are like, oh my god, this is gonna be good. Hey, guess what? You know what would be even better? Go watch the one that came out in 2010. You're gonna get
Thank
the
you.
same feeling out of it. Like, and then on top of that, it's three movies. Like,
Yeah.
it's three movies. Like, oh, what else can
And
you
those are
get?
good movies. I love those heist movies. Those are
Oh
good
my god,
movies.
that first one was amazing. Like I love the first
Exactly.
one. Like those movies are like you can't it's like animation should never be touched. Like it's just pointless. It's literally pointless for them to retell a story that their kids and their kids can still get that same effect from the movies that we grew up on. Like you don't have to retell a story just because oh it'll make you money. Like that's why I don't even want to see Snow White because I know that's your wife Gal Gadot. The bitch can't act. I don't like her. She
Yeah.
cannot act. Like
Yeah.
she just I don't know what she can do in her life, but acting ain't it. But anyway, like the same thing with like they just did Mohana too. Why in the hell are they doing a live action version? Is it because The Rock think he need more money and he wants to be in this movie? Like, bro, like, why do we need a live action Mohana? Like, we do not need one. We already have two movies. Why do we need a live action?
And they just made part two. It's not like
Exactly.
like the Lion King. You said that was 30 years ago. Okay. Then they
Right.
bring it back. But we haven't forgotten Moana 1, Moana 2. We haven't forgotten any of that. And Moana
Exactly.
Moana 1 is one of my favorite animated movies. So
Right.
I'm just on pins and needles angry that they're doing a remake because what they should do, and I just thought of it, what they should do is touch up the animated versions and re-release them in the theaters. Don't give us all new live actions because, like you said, the Mufasa movie I think hurt Mufasa's legacy more than it helped him, and it just hurt the story. So yeah, I think like you said, they
And
just out doing stuff for money.
And on top of
And
that, they literally made Scar look like a bitch. Like that's what you're saying. It was
yeah,
Foster
yeah,
that Scar was a bitch. That's all you were telling me is that Scar was just a bitch throughout his
and
whole entire life. He
was
wasn't. He don't
in
have
the
a.
cartoon in the animated, he don't have no bitch in him at all from what we saw, and
And
it's just crazy.
it's just wild how they just made him into like, oh, he don't
Yeah,
do nothing. He just cowers. Like he's a coward. Like
yeah.
I hated his whole story so much. That's
The
why they should have
man
just left it
the man
alone.
killed his own brother. So I mean, how much of a coward? And tried to kill his nephew. Tried to kill anybody who was standing in his path. He hooked up with some of the most devious creatures in the Pride Land, in the hyenas. And so he was just how do you be a coward and be all soft like that? And it just don't correlate at all. And
Yeah, I
to
just
speak
didn't
of,
like it.
yeah, to speak about Snow White. One, don't talk about my girl. I don't like it. Them adoption papers
I'm
are getting
sorry.
even thicker now. But she was visually something to look at. but she came off more comical than the queen's evil eeriness and just overall like badness. She came off like a cartoon character. So
because she can't
yeah, her acting was not on, but I give you that. Yeah, that yeah.
And then I heard, didn't they have like some new songs in that too, or something?
Yeah, and that too. And the "Whistle While You Work" song was
Uh huh.
downgraded. It didn't have, in the cartoon, it was like boisterous. It was something, it's something you remember. It was kind of like comically downgraded, and then the CGI was terrible with the dwarves. And I wish they would have used real little people. You have a live action movie, why not use live action little people? That just makes sense. But the anime, not the CGI was terrible, and her chemistry with the guy who played Prince Charming or whatever was off.
Mm-hmm.
It was like night and day. They could have did better. So I mean, it had its little tiny good moments. That's why I gave it a two-star review. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's one you can definitely wait till it come out on Disney Plus to see.
Yeah, that was another thing that I kept hearing about too, is that people were upset, like, why didn't they use actual little people instead of doing CGI? Because I think that was like really stupid. Like, why
Yeah,
would you do that when there are actual actors out there that are little people that who could have did that role?
could have
So
killed the role.
and then on top of that, I think that it's really dumb that they added like new songs in there too. And what's so crazy is that I think Rachel Zegler, I think she's like a good actress, because with
Yeah.
her being in like, West Side Story, and then she did Hunger Games, and then of course she was in that terrible Shazam movie. I'm like, that wasn't her fault. But yeah, I just feel like it's like she did. I'm like, I haven't seen the movie. I'm probably gonna wait until Disney Plus, of course, because I'm like, why not? But yeah, I just feel like once again, it's just one of these movies. It's like, y'all don't have to keep touching these movies. Like, just leave them alone. Like, mind you, the budget for that was like over $200 million, and they
Are
haven't
you
even made
serious?
that. I'm being dead serious. It's one of Disney's most expensive films, and so far it's only made 170 million worldwide. So unless you know.
Disney lucky they got parks and stuff because this would have bankrupted because
Hey, let me tell you, it's just like I think their biggest live action one, I want to say, was Aladdin.
oh, and that was I fell asleep on that twice, and I was like,
Yeah, I really want to say I think that one. Yeah, that one made $1 billion.
oh, it did.
Yeah, it made $1 billion worldwide. I'm real surprised on that one. But I kind of feel like I feel like Will Smith had something to do with it. I don't care.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
played the genie, so I feel like that had a lot to do with it.
yeah. His star
But
power. Yeah,
so they could have left that alone too. Like, just leave our precious animated films alone. Just
and like you
just
said, what's her name? Renee. What's the Snow White lady's name? You just said it.
Rachel Zegler.
Rachel. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rachel Zegler. Like you say, she's a good actor, and she
Mm-hmm.
did good in the Snow White movie. But you know
Mm-hmm.
how good actors can be brought down by bad scripts or bad
Yes.
co-stars. So that's
Yes.
what this is. She elevated it as much as she could, but she was still strangled by the terrible writing and the just bad direction of the movie. So it's
Right.
not her fault.
So I feel like they probably would have won up on one if they would have played Yin Yang Twins, What's Why You Twerk. That would have got people in their seats. If y'all haven't heard that song, please look it up. It's What's Why You Twerk. Yin Yang Twins came out in 2000. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna lie, because every time I saw that stupid commercial and you hear like Whistle While You Work in the background,
Yeah,
that was like the only thing I kept thinking about was Yin Yang Twins. Whistle While You Twerk. I was like,
exactly. If
I
that
love
would
that
have
song so
busted out,
much.
if that would have busted out with Snow White, I would have been dancing up and down the aisle myself.
Exactly. It's like if they would have just mixed that in there, they would have had a hit. But other than that, please, I'm like Hollywood. I'm like, I understand their thing is nostalgia and going down memory lane, but sometimes some stuff should be left alone. And it's pretty much
Exactly.
all our animated films for Disney, just any animated films. Stop remaking them. Stop remaking them live action.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to touch them up and re-give them to us, you could have touched up Lion King and
Yes.
put in like 30 more minutes. I'm sure they got cuts that never made it. Put in a little extra and put it out. I'm sure you would have made $1 billion because everybody who saw it as a kid would have took their kids to go see it so they could feel it, or everybody who didn't see it in the theaters could go. So I mean, yeah, Disney. I'm sure they're gonna keep making all the live action ones they can.
Of course. I'm like, it's not like they ain't rich or anything.
A Bambi live
Yeesh.
action. A Bambi live action. I'm sure is coming up.
Lord, who wants to see that?
I
That's
know.
so depressing.
Exactly.
All right, brother. Did you have any more words?
No, that is all the time I want to give Disney live action.
That's all I wanted to give on Love and Death, but I still don't like it. Anyway,
I dare you. I dare you.
now that we got those popular opinions out of the way, this is the part. Now we're on to make it make sense. This is the part of the show where we break down the most baffling, head scratching moments in movies and try to figure out what went wrong. So, brother, what movie made you say, make it make sense?
Now, we've all been to physics class or science class, and we've learned about the atomic bomb and how powerful it is and everything. And you know, if you're in one, you're not just going to get up and walk away, dust your hat off, and call it a day. But I don't understand how Indiana Jones in the Crystal Skull movie jumped into a refrigerator, had an atomic bomb go off not too far from him. The refrigerator got tossed like a baseball, just hundreds and hundreds of yards away. He opened the fridge, dusted his hat off, looked around, and walked off. Now, how? Like that does not make any sense. Like the blast, like I said, launched the refrigerator. The G forces and the impact would crush or kill a person instantly. And
Right.
the heat, even inside the fridge, can't stop the intense. You can't stop the intense heat. Indiana Jones would have roasted like a turkey on Thanksgiving in that fridge, and because even if the fridge blocks the radiation, it's still, like I said, the heat that, and then the lead slows down the radiation, like I was saying, the fridge lead, but it doesn't do it perfectly. So Indiana Jones walking away with no symptoms, in reality, he would be sick and he would be dead within days or weeks, probably days, because he was right there. But the bottom line is that the problem, nuclear shockwave. The consequence, instant death. The fridge get launched. That's the problem. The consequence of that is a massive trauma. Like he got head trauma, broken spleen, broken something. And then the heat blast is the problem. The consequent, cooked alive. And then the problem of radiation, like I said, you dead in weeks or days. So the bottom line is physics says no way. That fridge is a coffin more than a lifesaver for old poor Indiana Jones, and him and that whip would just get cooked. So that's my make it make sense, because my head, when I saw that, I almost stopped watching the whole movie, and that happened in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, because I was getting ready to say that because I'm like, I hate that I'm about to admit this right now, but this was the very first Indiana Jones movie I have ever seen in my life.
Oh my
Um,
god!
I saw. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm like, this is when I was a fan of Shia LaBeouf. Like, I had to see everything Shia LaBeouf was in. I'm like, I just had to see it. I'm like, I wasn't no fan of Indiana Jones. Like, as a fan of Indiana Jones, I
Yes,
had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just was watching this movie because I was a fan of Shia LaBeouf. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just like saying LaBeouf. Anyway, but I mean, I totally understand what you mean because when you were talking about that, I was like, wait a minute. I was thinking to myself, I was like, didn't that happen like right at the beginning of the movie?
yeah,
Like seriously, like how they do those like one story, like one those what is like them little short like clips where they'd be like, this is how the movie should have went. Like so, like right there when you said that when he got launched launched into that refrigerator, that movie would have ended with him just dead. Like there would have been no more
exactly.
Indiana Jones. Like Indiana Jones should not be alive. Like just like that whole scene, I was just like, I remember sitting there just thinking like, I'm like how does that work? It's like he's like in a refrigerator. Like
Yes,
it's it's sealed up. So like that, like you said, the blast from that, the impact of all of that, it probably should have just literally like slammed that like the what is it, the door shut. Like he wouldn't
yeah.
be able to get out of it like at all because if he got launched in the way it probably threw him in like the landing, like anything could have happened, like anything.
And
So
I
for
don't
him,
think, if you haven't seen that movie, then I don't know
mhm,
how to perfectly describe the way that fridge was launched, because it was like it was in a giant slingshot. Somebody let it go, and it didn't just skip on the ground. It flew through the air and landed with such an impact, and then it rolled multiple times. And that's just a normal refrigerator. It's not like the Incredible Hulk's refrigerator. It's just a normal refrigerator. Like it's not made of vibranium, adamantium, nothing. It's just a normal refrigerator. And if you know anything
Yes.
about refrigerators, that rubber that seals the door, it barely keeps just the air, just regular air. So how does it hold up against an atomic blast? And it's just crazy. And I can't believe this is the first one you've seen. You have not seen Raiders of the Lost Ark with the giant ball rolling out
Wait,
from?
hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait. I finally got to see all of them. Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I finally got to
Okay.
see all.
All right. Let me
I
back off that doctor.
thank you.
Somebody needed a sister, boy. I tell
No,
you,
no,
Chris.
no, no. I actually finally watched it when it finally came on. I think it was the very last one. When the very last one ended up
Oh,
on
uh-huh.
Disney Plus. What was that? The Dial of Destiny. Yeah, when it
Yeah, that
finally
one.
ended
I'm
up
not
on
a fan
Disney
of that one.
Plus. So when that one finally came out, I was like, okay, let me just go ahead since Disney has all of them. I was like, let me go ahead and watch. I just one day I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And I
All
think I
right.
actually made a post on Facebook. I was like, I know everybody was shocked when they found out that was watching it for like the very first time. Like, yes, I just never got into Indiana Jones, but I finally got into Indiana Jones and I was like, hold on. I was like, let the man cook. I'm like, he on to something. Because
Yeah.
I think it was the first one I want to say that I liked. I want to say it was the very first
The very
one.
first one.
Which,
Yeah.
yeah, when I was like, okay, I'm like, why did it take me so long to watch this? Like, I should have been watching this. Like, I'm like, these movies are like actually pretty good until you get to the one that we're talking about right now, the Crystal Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's like
Yeah.
that's where I was like, I got lost because it was like also another part in that movie where it really makes you I found it the very first time I watched this. Oh yep, it was the July 4th weekend 2023. 2023 I watched this series for the very first time. Yeah, even you were shocked because yeah, you even commented on it. You were like, "I'm sorry, what?" Like, look, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never watched it.
Mind blown. I should have put the adoption papers in there.
Yeah, and I was just like, and I said, and I remember I reposted, and I was on Temple of Doom, and I was like, these movies are kind of hitting. And it was
See?
like, I was like, okay, I was like, it took me a second. I'm like, but I finally got into it. But yeah, I had to admit, it was just that it just didn't do it for me. Like the Kingdom of Crystal Skull, there is a scene where I'm like, I hope you can remember this scene because this also was another scene where I was like, please make this make sense. It's like it's Indiana, and then it's like Kate Blanchett's character Irina, and then Marion, and then Shia LaBeouf, his character Mutt, where they're like in the Amazon, and they're like on the, I guess you could say trucks or whatever, but
Mhm.
somehow they're like swinging through on vines and shit. Like
Yeah.
how like
Yeah.
make that
Yeah.
make sense? Like you are not Tarzan.
Exactly.
Like this is not Jane and Tarzan. Like that should have never worked. Like
And every
them
one of
like
those vines somehow was strong enough to hold the human body going at the speed that they was going because they was jumping from cars onto the vines. Like one of them vines should have snapped. One of them vines should have been a snake. Something. Like,
exactly. Like there is no way in the world that they were gonna get through this wild car chase, swinging on vines from vehicle to vehicle. Like just some of the stuff was just stupid. It was like make this make sense. Like I understand why it took so long to get to this movie, but also it's like why was it also kind of dumb?
yeah.
Like this one was also kind of it just felt silly compared to to the other three before it. Like
Yeah. The last two were awful. I'm sorry.
right. And it was just like, and that was your way of sending off Indiana Jones. And, like it could have been so much better. But I think there was also another scene in what is it, Kingdom of Crystal, the Crystal Skull. It's like,
Uh-huh.
I think, what was it? I think that Indy ended up in like, what was a quicksand?
Oh,
And
yep.
the only thing that can get him out with a snake.
Was what he feared the most. Yeah.
The most thing, and they were like, and he was like, tell me something else. And they were like, grab the rope. And it was just like, I'm like, how are you pulling this man out
With a
of
snake.
quicksand with a damn snake?
Indy is about 200, 225. That snake ain't built for that. It's not.
And right. And mind you, this man is old. He got old paper strength. So he gonna probably tear that snake in half out of it. Like it like some of this stuff like literally did not make sense. Like
I found that scene hilarious though because I'm definitely terrified of snakes. And when
I am too.
he said just leave me after I was like, I feel you. I'm going down. Call me Mary J. Blige because I'm going down. I'm not touching no snake to get pulled out of no
That's
quicksand.
so me. I'd have been like, look, I'm like, this Angel's gonna have to take me because I'm not touching no
Exactly.
snake. Like, look, just let me just like leave. It's like save yourselves.
Like Fred Sanford, Lord, I'm coming. That is
So
not
yeah,
it.
I was like, I just realized like after like realizing this movie, I was like, wait, there's a few things in here
Yeah, yeah. If you
that was
like,
really dumb.
I think like there's so much make it make sense in all of them, but the first three you could look past it. Like you could like what that don't, but okay, we're gonna look past it. But like
Right.
the blatantness of it in these last ones, it was just it's just like all right, let's just wrap this up.
Oh yeah, and then I just thought about it too with this movie. Is that scene with Kate Blanchett's character Irina, and then Mutt, where they're
Uh-huh.
sword fighting on the trucks as they're
Oh yeah.
driving. And then like there's one scene where I think I want to say it was Mutt who's like gets stuck on between like the two trucks, and he's
You do
like,
the split.
yeah. I'm like, y'all are giving me a headache. It's like there's so much stuff that is going on in this movie that y'all are trying to make us believe. And it's like, make that make sense because it's not making sense because you physically as a human being cannot do something like that. Like
Exactly.
you cannot plant your feet on like a hood or a car and think that you're gonna be steady going like 50 and 60 miles per hour.
Without sliding, or even without the cars losing each other in speed a little bit, and you haven't slid.
Exactly. And you're in the middle of the Amazon. You're gonna try and tell me that you're gonna keep these trucks steady to where you two could be like sword fighting and all this stuff, and him to be able to do the splits and be like just make
Yeah,
it make sense because guess what? It is not. It is
didn't.
making sense. In the fact that I love Steven Spielberg. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like he should have just said, "Hey, you know what? Let's just say goodbye to Indy in those three movies right there. Like, just let it sit there.
Yeah,
Just let
because
it sit because the first three, those were good enough. And I think because I actually made I did a ranking of these movies, and the fourth one or like the last two are the ones that are at the end, like that Kingdom of Crystal Skull and the Dial of Destiny, because Lost Ark is like my number one out of those out of that entire thing. Like the first one
yeah,
was my favorite one. So, but yeah, that Kingdom Crystal Skull, I was kind of like upset. I think because I was just like a fan, and I was just like, oh, this is good. I'm like, I'm not gonna like really like pay attention to what's going on. But then when you actually go back and rewatch it, you just like, wow, this movie really was trash.
yeah. It's a sad way for them to send out such a great character. They could
Mm-hmm.
have, like you said, left it at three, or really took the time needed to make it a send off. Like giving us a fourth movie that send them off would have been perfect. They didn't have to give us the last one at all. And Raiders of the Lost Ark, that's my favorite. So
Okay. Yeah, because I think I made that one. Yeah, number two. Yeah, I think
yeah,
so. Yeah, yep, it is. It's number two. So, all right. So, did you have anything else about your Make It Make Sense, brother?
no, we dove, excuse me, deep with that one. So let's move on to yours. Our heads are spinning enough right now.
All right. Well, I feel like I'm gonna keep your head spinning. So, have you ever seen a movie called Mother for Jennifer Lawrence?
I have,
So you have seen this
I
movie.
have, yes.
Perfect. So, have you ever seen a film where you just say, what the F after wasting your life watching it? Well, that's how it was for me with Mother by Darian Aronofsky with Jennifer Lawrence. So, just a quick rundown on what this movie is without making your head hurt. It's basically a young woman spends her days renovating a Victorian mansion that she lives in with her husband in the countryside. When a stranger knocks on the door one night, he becomes unexpected guest in their home. Later, his wife and two children also arrive to make themselves welcome. So, terror soon strikes when the belligerent wife tries to figure out why her husband is so seemingly friendly and accommodating to everyone but her. So, this is why this movie gave me the biggest headache in the world. It's an allegory between God, humanity, the earth, and Mother Nature, but it's also inspired by the Bible. And all I saw was a damn mess. It just was like all over the place. I don't understand why they decided to make a movie. They made it so artsy, fartsy. And don't get me wrong, I love an art film. Like don't get me wrong, like I love film, but this one right here, they were like trying to tell a story that shouldn't have been this complicated. Like this was the story that literally made my head like spin out of control because I was trying to understand what was going on. But what was crazy to me was that that mom figured this movie out before I even did. That was the crazy thing to me. Is like, okay, I'm like, how am I sitting here and I'm not getting it? And she's like barely watching it, but she understood exactly what was going on, and it already gave her a headache. Like that's what it was.
That
It's like like the director, or like he literally Aronofsky. Like, sorry, I know I'm butchering this man's name, but it's like the way he went about it. It just like gave me a headache. It was like literally kind of like the story of Genesis, like with Adam and Eve, and like just like how like people treat like Mother Nature, and like how they destroy like humanity and like life itself. So it's like basically it's like those kind of like things. It's like okay, it's like, so if that's what you were trying to get your point across, like, can you have done it in an easier way than making me have to like scratch my head for like it was like a lot of head scratching. And then on top of that, it's like you have a great cast of people. Like you have, like I said, Jennifer Lawrence. You have Javier Bardem. You have Michelle Pfeiffer. You even have Kristen Wiig in this movie. Mind you, Kristen Wiig is definitely comedic all around, like amazing. So to like see her to go off into like the deep end of this movie, as she plays, I want to say she plays a what is it? What does she play? She plays a herald. So it's just like it was just kind of weird to just like how they just did everything in this film just to like it would it, it
Yeah,
you know what
I understand what you're saying, and it's
it's
crazy
just
that you say mom got off into it when you were watching it and she was barely paying attention to it because it's like, okay, let me focus everything on this, and then somebody just out doing something else and they pick it up. Like just like the harder you think about it, the more
right,
confusing and complex it get because it
right,
has complex allegorical nature of it and
yeah,
the lack of the clear structure or narrative or whatever. And like I picked up on the Bible stuff, but
yeah,
like some of the symbolism and the metaphors and the environmental interpretations, like you said, as far as Mother Nature, it's one of them movies that tries to be smarter than it needs to be. Like you could have
right.
told the story in a more guided way that people could understand it and get into it more, but like the film shifts tones and focus, and then there's emotional distress and some of the it's overwhelmed, and then it's disconnected from some parts. It's just like you
Yes,
said, it's the story is just all over the place. It's a one and done. Definitely.
he's literally one and done because it's like it's like their way of depicting the way of like the torment of like Mother Earth, and like she's supposed to represent Mother Earth, and like
Mhm.
Javier is supposed to be some form of God and then the creator. And then it's like Michelle Pfeiffer's character is Eve, and then her husband is Adam, and then it's Cain and Abel. It's just it was just like a lot of just it was like a lot. And then it was just like
Mhm.
you got the setting that sometimes looked like the Garden of Eden, and it was just like, okay, all
what
right.
else what else was crazy was the way they filmed it, because now that I'm thinking about it, like they used the handheld technique, then they used the close-ups, and
Yes.
like I say, the handheld camera shots, and then they use different unusual techniques for it. It was just like a movie I wanted to get into and I wanted to understand. And like after watching it, I had to sit down and read up on it to really understand. Like, okay, I thought that was going on, but it could have been more guided, more easier to understand. Like I picked up on a good majority of it, but then like I said, when I
Mhm.
went and did the reading on it, I was like, oh, okay. Then I was even madder because I was like, why did you have to do it so hard? Like
Right, right, because it's like it was just one of those films that kind of like went like over my head at that
yeah.
time. But then it was like when mom kind of like broke it down, it was like, okay, it's like she's supposed to be this, he's supposed to be that, and I was like, I'm like, how do you know this just from you not like really paying attention? Like, she would
Exactly.
ever so often like look up at the screen, then be down on her phone, and then it's like, and then it was like, okay, she's like, I know what's going on here, and it like gave her a headache too. So I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, I was like, break it down to me, so I know, like, break it down to me like I'm five, because it's like I wasn't like getting it at all. Like the whole thing, like you said, like there was just too many times where it just seemed like, okay, like some of the shooting just felt like harsh.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I'm like, but it just seemed disconnected. And then it was just like, I just started finding myself like pulling away from the movie. And then it was just like, okay, I'm like, now you guys got me again. And then next thing you know, I'm like, why? I'm like scratching my head, like, why is this happening? Like, and it's like all happens in like this one setting, but like the setting, like you
Yeah.
said, changes like a lot. And so it's just like, okay, like where am I at now? I'm in the house. Okay, am I still in the house? Like
Exactly.
it's just like, okay, and it's like, okay, where did all these people come from? Like it's just
Yes.
like it was just like where it's just it's like it started off with like two people, then it was like four, then it was like a whole like group, it was like a map, it was
House
like a
full.
mass
It was like,
mob. Like
yeah.
it was just like, how did these people get here? And then it's just like, okay, like I'm like trying to understand, like even like the whole scene of when she gave birth to the baby,
Okay. Okay. Yep.
and then when she refuses the baby, like to give the baby up, and then she falls asleep, and then she finds out her baby is killed. Like people are like passing the baby around, like, and it's just like, and then they like eating the baby. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I'm like, what?
Right.
What is this? And then it's like, and then they turn on her and start beating on her, and it's like until her husband intervenes, and it's just like,
Yeah.
and then it's like he's telling her to like tells her to forgive them and all this stuff, and it's just like, okay, it's like I get what you're doing, but it's like it's just not coming off right. It's just and I hate when I guess you could say I just don't like when stories are being told in a way in a sense where it's like, are you making fun, or are you just like, this is just what your mind is just like, oh, let me give you this movie and let me see what you think about it from my perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was just like one of those, like some of that stuff could have just, man, it was just
Like the baby dying, the like the baby dying scene with the bone snap and all
mm-hmm.
that stuff. Like you don't come back from that. Like you're not gonna
No.
forget that. You're gonna remember that clear on down. And it's just like you said, it's just crazy. Like I just sometimes I think I watch a movie and I'll be like, I thought people sat down and watched movies before they was released to let people know how
Mm-hmm.
they feel about it, whatever. And like somebody actually said, you know what, this is a masterpiece. Go ahead and let this confusion mess go. Because it's like
Right.
watching like,
It's just crazy. It's crazy because I'm a fan of Jennifer Lawrence, so it's
oh
just
yeah,
so for me, I was just like, oh, I'm like, let me see this movie because I'm like, I'm such a huge fan, and then it was just like, I think this is like around the time where she was kind of like slowing down. Like this is like, okay, it's time for you to take a break, because I think this was the movie that came out. It came out after Passengers with her and Chris Pratt. Like
oh yeah, that's one of
I'm
my
like,
favorite.
yeah, this is. I didn't like that movie too much. They could have like
Adoption.
at that time. No, sorry, like that was the time. It was like at that time, it was like, okay, it's time for her to like go away for a minute, because it's like, how can we miss you if you don't go away? But anyway, just because I'm a fan, because it's like it's like this when you're a fan of someone, it's like you do take them chances. It's like, look, I'll watch it because I'm a fan, and sometimes
Yeah,
some chances are like the chances you wish you didn't take, but we're here. So but yeah, it was just one of those like movies where it's like not, it just didn't work. And
yeah,
so I just feel like he was trying to do something really ambitious with his vision, and it just became too unwieldy. It was just like too much to like try and take on. And I hate the fact that he did try to make something so ambitious and it just kind of like fell flat on its face.
yeah. Because he did Black Swan. He did, yeah, and he did excuse me, he did Requiem for a Dream, which are two good movies that are completely away from the structure and the chaos and confusion of this movie. But so I guess he just felt like he said, I've done Black Swan, I've done Requiem from a Dream. Those are big hits. Let me give them something completely out of left field.
Then I forgot this is the same man who did Noah with Russell Crowe, and that's about Noah and
Oh,
the ark. And then on top of that, that should have been an indicator right there too, because he went off the script about Noah's Ark
yeah.
from the Bible. It was just completely nonsense. Like it it was just stupid. It was so I understand now why this movie didn't work because he I don't know what his thing is about the Bible, but it's just like, bro, let it go. It's just
I
like
did
let it go. Like
not
it's
know
not
he did Noah.
yeah, and like this movie is not working for you. Let it go. And he did the movie The Whale too, which with Brandon Fraser, which I actually enjoyed.
Which is a masterpiece.
Yes,
That one is a
and
really
yeah, so I was like really impressed with that too. So I'm kind of hoping that he's done with like the Bible allegories, just the Bible stories, period.
yeah.
But like, let's move on. Like, let's
So
stop
far,
touching those.
so far he has more hits than misses though. But I mean, the misses can't add up. So let's let's stay away from
Right,
like the Bible. Leave that to
exactly.
Mel Gibson and his people and his production team.
Brother, did you have anything else to add?
I did not. I enjoyed this episode. We had a lot to talk about. I gotta go cool my brain down and fill out these adoption papers. But you know,
Aw, boo. You can't get rid of me. You'll never get rid of me. But I will say this before I go. This is just a little ad tidbit. I'm just throwing this out there real quick. Brother, I don't know if you've seen me talk about it. I don't know if you've seen a bunch of people talking about it. I don't even know if anybody told you about it. But please tell me, have you heard of The Pit?
the pit, the show on it's on Max, right? And
Exactly.
it's the medical drama show, right?
Yes.
And
Have
like
you?
each episode is a hour of I know, yeah. Me and the wife are gonna watch it. We just finished watching Pulse on Netflix. That was pretty good, but I know they were up to episode 14. When does 15 come out? Because I was waiting for it to finish.
It came out yesterday. We already
Okay,
finished it.
we will be watching. I will be watching it this weekend.
It's such a good show. Like, mind you, like it literally, I finished it. I ended up started watching it last week.
Yeah,
I think it was what was that Friday, Saturday? No, Saturday evening. I ended up started watching it. I think I started like at 5 in the evening. By the time I got to episode 11, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I
oh
was
dang.
like, I knew I was in it. I knew I was in it when I realized what time it was. I didn't even know it was 2 o'clock. I was like, all right, let me take my FB. I was like, I gotta go to sleep, but I even got mom turned on to it because, mind you, this is crazy. She had just got out of the hospital on Sunday. She came
Yeah.
home. I was telling her about the show. She got in bed. She literally caught up that same damn day.
Oh dang.
It was that serious. This is how good this show is, folks. If you have not watched The Pit, it is on Max. Please watch it. It's season 1. All the episodes are being shown right now. 15 episodes, 15-hour shift. That is what it is. It's just people saving people. And on top of that, it's already been renewed for a second season. It's supposed to be
Oh,
coming
has
out
it?
January 2026. And it's gonna be in 4th of July weekend. I cannot wait. I am excited. Like, let's go. It's such a good show. And mind you, I don't watch any kind of medical, dramas at all. I'm squeamish. For someone who loves horror, I cannot do none of that. I can't do blood. I can't do broken bones. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what the difference is, but when it comes to people being worked on in a hospital, like, please, I don't want to see it. But the show is great. I will give you a forewarning. There is a birthing scene at
Oh
the like
no.
close to like towards the end of the season. I kind of want to say it's either it's episode 10 or 11. I didn't think they were gonna show the whole. I didn't think they were gonna show it. My ass decided that I wanted to eat while they were
Oh
doing it.
no.
I shouldn't have did that. That was a mistake. Like, so yes, it's episode. It will be episode number 11. It's number. I knew it. It was episode number 11 with the birthing scene. Like, that is the worst of the worst, I think, out of that entire show. Like, when it comes to showing anything graphic, because I'm like,
Yeah.
they didn't have to get that graphic, but they got that graphic.
It's Max.
So I was just like, damn. I'm like, I didn't have to show all of it, but no, it's such a phenomenal show. Please, you and the sister-in-law, You guys gotta watch it. You guys will fall in love
Definitely.
with it. It goes really, really quick. Like I said, 15 episodes. They're basically all an hour. It's like as soon as you get into the first one, it's like you're ready for that second one, and then it's like you just go from there. Like it just nonstop. It does not stop at all.
I'm
It's like
about
a
to
really
put it
good show.
on. I'm about to put it on
Yes,
as soon as we get off. You
yes,
got me pumped
y'all
for
go
it.
sit down, grab something to drink, a snack, and enjoy that show. Look, they will become family by the end of season one. I know everybody by they by their doctor names. Like, look, I love everybody on this damn show. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a phenomenal show. And I'm
All
not
right.
even like I never watched Grey's Anatomy. I never watched ER, but now that Noah Wiley's on this show, I may pull out ER just to get
Yeah.
into that. Just you never know. So, but yes, I do will love the pit.
All right. You sold me on it.
Yes, like you will love it. You will love it. You will love it. You will just hate that it'll be over. God willing, we will get it January 2026, and they're hoping that we will get a season every year. So fingers crossed. I hope this show keeps going on. I hope it lasts like Grey's Anatomy. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So yes, that was
All right.
my little shout out to the pit. So
All right.
yes, everybody, if you have a chance, please watch the pit. Did you have anything to add, brother?
No, no. Like I said, you sold me on the pit. Everybody remember where they can follow us at. You can follow me on X, Twitter, and link and letterbox at the Hazel Eyed Movie Guy. And thank you in advance.
And that is our show. So we hope that you guys enjoyed the episode and the conversation. So if you had any ideas or questions you are interested in and being a guest as well, please email us at chantelashford@hotmail.com or the Hazel Eye Movie Guy at yahoo.com. And now that we hope that we catch you guys next time for our next episode as we'll discuss what you're watching now and directors we love. So, as we say here on Popcorn and Perspective, always watch, love, and keep. Watch the movies, love the movies, and always keep them with you. Catch you next
Until
time.
next time.